know, there was that one point where we got up to. You live in that bad boy? That's awesome. How's it?
I don't live in it, but I travel.
That's sweet. That's the dream.
Yeah, right.
Sell everything and get one of those.
Gotcha.
Good job, man. Have a good one. Free. That was sweet. He's got that bus right there. That's fucking cool. Anyway, you know, they do the thing where they lower the gas prices so they raise the gas prices so, you know, up to $5. So when they lower them down to $3.50, $3.75, we're like, thank you. Oh man, they're looking out for us. They lowered, you know, that's how they did it before. I just can't wrap my head around, like, how does anyone still support Trump? I mean, his racism, sexism, homophobia cannot be what is overriding this. And this is where the pedophile thing comes in. This is where you don't understand just how many people around you, in your family, your friend circle, in your neighborhood, how many of these pieces of shit are actually pedophiles. You know, and a pedophile isn't just someone who touches kids. A pedophile is someone who looks at pictures. A pedophile is someone who, you know, tries to talk to kids, even if it's just talking to them. You know, you go on chat rooms and you try to find kids just so I can talk to them. You're a fucking pedophile. Like, if I didn't have kids, I would have 0 kids in my life. Ever. I mean, like, you know, I just can't imagine why I would want to hang out with kids. I love kids. Kids are great. You know, I like hanging, you know, if I go somewhere and there's kids there, I like playing and all that stuff. But to, like, have them in my life when I don't have to as an adult, are you fucking kidding me? No way. No way I would deal with that. My kids are great. You know, I love everything about them. But they've never said or done anything that, like, actually matters, makes the world a better place, or, you know, they make my world a better place. But, you know, if I never heard anything if I never heard anything they have said, my life wouldn't be any different. They haven't changed my way of thinking or anything, like, with their actions. Obviously, having children changes your thoughts and all that, but outside of that, it doesn't happen. Wow, I can't tell you the last time I went 3 whole minutes without any viewers. Makes me wonder if we're censored. Oh, well, there we go. There's our one viewer. Let me guess. It's a dumb fryer. Oh, man. $5 per fucking gallon. I mean, it's like $4.85 and shit. $4.60, $4.70, whatever. It'll be $5 in a minute. Fucking wild, man. It's fucking wild. Oh yeah, let me do my shares real quick. Hang on. Alright. Give me one more second here. I'll do just one more quick share. Alright, now we're back and rolling. Oh, we had 5, but they were like, it's dark, so I'm leaving. I don't blame you. Look like defeated enemy. I get it. We'll see what happens. Now I'm back down to 0. I was up to 5, but now I'm down to 0. We'll give it our 15 minutes. If after 15 minutes it hasn't caught on yet, then we'll just have to do a reset. Haven't really had to do that lately, but there has been some, you know, shady tactics happening in the last few days. Who's driving? No, I have a driver. Again, I love how people act like driving and holding a telephone would be a cell phone, would be a hard thing to do. Like, when you're in the car with people, do you insist that everybody stays quiet because You can't concentrate on, like, do you not turn on music and shit because you might like a song? Oh, go! Where you been, man? Did you get arrested or something? You missed out on some really amazing work these last couple days. See, I wonder if these private ambulances, are they Hatzola? Are they basically Hatzola? You know, is that why you see those private? Or are they for everyone? I just can't. I'm trying to like not talk about Naomi Elkins, even though I know Naomi Elkins is smoking gun. Like, everybody needs to know about Naomi Elkins. And the fact that she's already out, I would guarantee she's already out of the psychiatric ward after she murdered her 2 children, supposedly. But then again, I don't think she did. I think they are victims of friar ritual sexual assault. And, they used the mother, the drugged out fucking mother. She was clearly whacked out of her brain. They used her atrocity. Like, the story couldn't be more... Like, seriously, I honestly can't imagine a more gruesome story than a mother stabs her 1-year-old baby in the chest and in the 22-month-old baby in the chest and in the stomach, then drowns it in a bathtub while the 3-year-old sees it, goes and tries to run and hide, but the giant disgusting monster that her mother is, she's a big fat ugly piece of shit, the monster finds her, takes her into the another one of their multiple bathrooms in their house, puts her in the bathtub while kneeling on her chest, and then fills the bathtub until the child drowns. So basically this little girl's last experiences in life are watching her little sister be killed by her mother. Then her mother finds her and sits on her chest while the water is slowly filling up around her. And she's screaming, "Mommy, Mommy, what are you doing? Mommy, Mommy." It's so atrocious. It's so unbelievable that I don't believe it. And as much as I want to say, oh, these friars are horrible, awful people, yada, 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 I don't see it. I don't see it. It seems much more likely, especially when you educate yourself on the soul correction rituals that happen every 2 weeks in Israel or communities that try to emulate Israel, like Lakewood, where Naomi Elkins is from, Curious Joel, those places, the settlement areas in the United States. It is fucked up. And it's so fucked up that, especially since she confessed to it, nobody questions it. And I guess because it's such an insane sort of thing, and apparently she has a history which doesn't actually match, necessarily. But like Grog said, in a lot of cases where somebody is considered criminally insane, they just run them through the system. There doesn't need to be any sort of trial. There doesn't need to be a jury trial. Only the judge, the prosecution and the defense agree to the terms before the trial even starts and all this other shit, because they wouldn't have been able to do it. there would have been too much investigation into what actually happened. They wouldn't have been able to prove that Naomi Elkins actually killed her daughters. That's why there wasn't any, that's why it went to a judge trial, and she was, after 90 minutes, she's convicted of an insanity plea based on 11 hours of interview with one psychiatrist. And an insanity plea is something that less than 1% of murder cases even go for it. And then, what was it? Only, I think 25% of those cases actually get the verdict that they're looking for. You mean cucking in? Because you're just a piece of shit cuck? Friars cucking in. And again, like, you don't see these friars in the comment section upset, you know, anything that's about, anything that has to do with, you know, negative perception of this monster. The friars just keep defending her. Why do the friars keep defending her? What's happening there, Caron? I mean, this is like I say, this is the smoking gun. This is the piece de resistance. This is the thing that I needed. This is the story that I needed, because I really don't think anybody can hear this story and not have an opinion. Not have a fucking, you know, a pretty standard opinion, right? Angry man, yes. Unlike you friars, children being raped and tortured angers me. I know that's sort of part of your whole foundation, so you don't even know how to be angry. You don't know how to respond like a normal person would. But yeah, normal people don't support pedophilia and genocide. You're, Y-O-U-R, part of it all. Clearly. You don't deserve an opinion. You don't deserve an opinion. Funny how I point out that these friars are here and they support the pedophiles, and the one guy goes, did I defend it really? Is your wrist okay? Let's change the subject. Because it wasn't like it was friars that decided that my shit was fucked up. Nah. But again, like, this is what I mean. You're so fucking inbred stupid that you don't even understand what you just did. You don't even understand how you just outed yourself. Right? You just, it's amazing. Yep. Fucking A. 484. That's with purchase of shit. Regular cash is $4.99. Regular with credit is $5.09. Since when is paying with a credit card less money? Oh wait, yeah, no, my bad. I know there are some of these places that actually offer a discount for using your credit card, which makes no sense. Trouble with the recording for CSK. I think I licked it today. So, well, let's see what happens. Hopefully it's a TBG project and not a FPH project or some shit. Whatever you want. Who is this asshole? I am your worst fucking nightmare, you pedophile friar piece of shit. That's who I am. I am the last person you want to stumble across. Because I'm going to use everything you say to prove how disgusting and awful you friar pieces of shit are. Right? Again, we have to unify and demand an investigation. Because I really don't think there was an investigation into Naomi Elkins. I think it was all just open and shut. Oh, she admitted it. She admitted. Like, seriously, you've never seen anything like that before. The videos we watched yesterday, you've never seen anything like it. You've never seen a situation where, you know, the scene is completely compromised right from the beginning, and the cops do nothing about it. The scene was so contaminated by their disgusting pedo, like, everything, touching, you know, they were, the one guy was fucking smiling about it. He was laughing. A fucking 2 children were killed. Why the fuck would it be an FPH project? That makes no sense. Why would you ever, like, it doesn't make any sense. Would you want nobody to hear it? That's fucking weird. Lack of fucking tape, can't get past. I mean, there's everything. Showing up and the police aren't the first ones called. There's an entire, like, there's you know, Hatzola, but then there's a ton of civilian, a ton of, you know, plainclothes friars walking in and out of a crime scene. Parking all on the road, all oblonged and shit, so that the cops have to park, you know, a block and a half away or some shit. Like, this is as fucking just weird as it gets. Like, I just don't understand. You know, I don't understand what is holding anyone back. Like, I understand why it worked the way it did. I understand we're talking about friars and literal Semitism, right? This is the best definition of Semitism I've ever seen. I'm thinking about it, and you know, that's a pretty bold statement, but it's the truth. I've never seen anything even close to as ridiculous as this story played out to be. Only to find out that she was involved in real estate dealings. Literally, like, after the murders. How was she not in prison? You know, why would her, you know, oh, she was the co-owner, and how? How does all that fucking work? Get on the blood and once I got this on the back today. Perhaps it was yeah, I don't understand why there would be any question as to which one it is. You're not like an FPH fan. You're a TBG fan. You're my person. That doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Oh, bitch. He's a perfect fit for me because he doesn't give a shit like I do. He'll be like, whatever, okay, I don't care. I'll just do it, you know, whatever. He doesn't give a shit. This is the craziest shit in the world. And again, look at all these shit friars here. Can you hold this for a sec? Oh. Hello. Oh, shit. Want to see Grease? Grease.
Good morning. Local neighborhood hater.
Call her about this drain.
What?
Call her about this. Her shit needs to be.
I understand. I'll be taking care of that tomorrow.
Sweet killer. Thanks, guys.
How's my day going? It's going. It's gonna turn out to be Santorini is beautiful. It's gonna be a busy one.
What is?
Today.
Huh? Oh, I was gonna say, is that happening? I was wondering about that. Good. My wife made a biscotti. She made a biscotti. What? Yeah, you were. You mean, can I give the boys that for dinner, sir? No, that's what you mean.
No.
My wife is so fucking like she can't even play along with it. She wouldn't even allow you guys to even begin to think that I would ever say shit like that. No, that's not how it is. You're gonna die. Seriously, Naomi Elkins, man, I'd like to move past it. I even tried to title the video something else so that I would focus more on that. But I just can't, man. That I think anybody that saw that video saw the the arrest video, especially the second one. Because the first one that I showed you guys, they did a good job of editing out a lot of the fucked up parts. I mean, again, there's a murder scene. The husband is missing. He's MIA. Nobody knows where he is. Turns out he went on a business trip the day before. But they in the house that the murders took place in his home, they find one of the rooms, they find a locked door, a door that was locked from the other side. How do you have a door that's locked from the other side unless somebody's in it? Like, that part is just, I mean, it's like, no one part actually stands out, I guess, but that especially. They didn't think that we need to break down this door and find out who's behind this, who's locked it. How could you possibly lock the door from the other side unless somebody's in it? Like, this one is just so fucked up, man. And of course, when I talk about raping and murdering kids, what do the friars say? Yay, Israel! Isn't that weird? How even they associate the rape and murder of children with Israel?
But where are the Epstein tapes? Israel's so disgustingly vile. But where are the Epstein tapes? They have you chasing your tail.
Meanwhile,
Where are the friggin' Epstein tapes? ISIS hit Russia in typical style. But where are the Epstein tapes? The boat hit the bridge and fell into a pile. But where are the Epstein tapes? The churches molested another child. But where are the Epstein tapes? They have the Goy in a state of denial. But where are the friggin' Epstein tapes?
look, they're so dumb, and you know that they're, like, he's run out of stuff to say. So he just, Israel has a right to defend itself. Like, he just can't, they're not, I don't think a lot of these are even really humans. A lot of them are act.il. Team Jorge bots, that kind of shit. But it shows you that they only have like a small, in their rebuttal gun, there's only a few bullets. Because they just can't actually, they can't engage in conversation like normal people. It's the inbred friar stupidity, but it's also how they're taught. They're taught to avoid the conversation at all costs. And it's easily because they know their entire cult is disgusting, awful, needs to be wiped the fuck off the planet ASAP. And they know it. They know it. They know there's nothing they can do to defend it. There's nothing they can say that's going to override what I'm saying. They know they're fucking shitbags.
Like drinking water from a bong, or like how gravity's a hoax. Since we all know different strokes make different people happy. The show we're shown only.
So you like burning churches? I couldn't care less about burning like churches are no more special than any other place outside of like the old world cathedrals and shit. Those are obviously special, but churches are just fucking buildings. Manic mantras, frenetic phrases, all in the pamphlet. Right. It's all in the auto-emancipation pamphlet. It's a psychosis. It's a pathological disorder. It's a irrational phobia if you don't accept their supremacy. If you don't support Semitism. Now, as always, well, I'm not going to do it actually. Fuck you. It's worth it. I'll just restart the song. Semitism definition. According to Merriam-Webster.com, of course, Merriam-Webster.com, the main word people.
Semitism.
Merriam-Webster.com, Semitism, nothing funny going on
Semitism.
here. Number 1A, Semitic character or qualities. Number 1B, a characteristic feature of a Semitic language occurring in another language. Number 2, policy or predisposition favorable to friars. Policy or predisposition favorable to friars.
Semitism.
Okay? You understand? Policy is the rules and the regulations, but predisposition is even crazier because predisposition is like genetic programming. If your mom's family all has cancer, you can live the best life you can, no smoking, no drinking, nothing, and you're still likely to get cancer because you have a predisposition to it. It's genetic programming. And according to them, and basically law, we are supposed to have our policies, our APAC policies, the rules and regulations by which our country works, and our genetic predisposition, the way that we all think about things before we know anything about it. We know that if friars are involved, then they're going to get favoritism. And anything less than that is, oh, that's anti-Semitism. That's anti-Semitism. And they're right, it is. If you speak out, if you say something they don't like, that is anti-Semitism because you are not giving them the supremacy that they require. You dumb Goyim, you're supposed to shut up. You're not supposed to say anything. You speaking out is anti-Semitism. Us demanding something else happens with the Naomi Elkins case is anti-Semitism because especially considering Naomi Elkins is the definition of Semitism. It doesn't get any worse than Naomi Elkins. Yo, bro, you know what metzitzia is? Exactly. Metzitzia is them cutting and sucking on baby things. It's circumcision with a twist, with a suction element to it. Mouth to genitals, pedophilia. And it's as important as any other mitzvah, and no mitzvah is more important than it. So it's among the most important aspects of their cult is the metzitzia. Metzitzia. It's just fucking unreal that shit exists. And that shit happens between 3,000 and 3,600 times per year in New York alone. That's 10 of those happening every day in just New York. Do you understand how fucked up that is? How fucked up that is? The thing about your fucking cult, thing about your cult is anything I read is just going to make you look worse. Right? Anything I read is going to make you look worse. Because everything about you guys is disgusting, pedophilic, genocidal fucking rhetoric. No, but haven't you heard? We're special. We're chosen by God. After we killed Jesus, the superhero, Christian God's only kid, then we wrote the book. We made ourselves God's chosen people. Christian God's chosen people are the people that killed his kid. Like, can you imagine if somebody killed your cat? If they just killed your cat, you'd never talk to them again, and you definitely wouldn't consider them better than you. The chosen people. These people killed your Jesus, and you're like, no, they're the good guys. I mean, they're clearly the bad guys in the Bible. They're the people Jesus was against. But hey, you know, they're God's chosen people. And look, ran out of shit to say. Israel has a right to defend itself. Good thing, because Israel's definitely going to need to defend itself. Israel will not exist in 5 years. Israel will not exist in 5 years. When I win the presidency in 2028, I will make that my goal. That's my main platform. We need to wipe that shit off the fucking map. Never should have been there in the first place. Your Christian friend. Lots of Christians die because of Israel. Lebanon is full of Christians. Okay? Lebanon is full of Christians. And I couldn't care less. Again, Christians are just dumb. Christians are dumb fucking pedophile supporting, you know, genocide supporting freaks. At the end of the day, you can't say I'm a Christian and I'm against the friarism. Friarism created Christianity. There's no separation there. Your Dan Bilzerians of the world, Dan Bilzerian is just the lesser of two evils. He's a piece of shit, no doubt about it. And just like Nick Fuentes, they love to prop the pieces of shit up there. Stu Peters, another piece of shit. Most of the Christians out there, or most of the popular truthers out there, the ones allowed to say the same things, but they don't get censored, most of them are fucking bigots. You know? Most of them, all of them push Christianity. But they all act like gay and transgender was a creation by the friars. That people aren't just people, right? What advice would you give to a 25-year-old you? Well, you already fucked up, so. By 25, I had already fucked up. And are we talking about if I could go back to being 25 or if I was 25 in today's society? I would tell myself, don't get married, don't have children, don't have things that you love that much, because that holds you back. That makes you into the perfect Goyim slave. You're supposed to get married. That's why forever they push, like, get married right out of high school and start having babies. Because that makes you the best kind of slave, a happy slave, a willing slave. You'll take anything they give you because you're not about to risk your children. You know, your children could end up homeless if you say something. So, children make you the best slave possible. I mean, for what reasons, my friend? How believe in Jesus died for no reason? What? He just passed by these IDF soldiers, and those soldiers were spitting to my friend who brought a Bible in his bag. Again, I mean, it sucks, but, you know. Wait, are you Serbian? No, you're not Serbian. You're Vic, so that's Croatian, right? Croatian. You know, you Christians who are like, no, like, again, it's like you lack understanding. How do you separate Christianity and Judaism? I'd love to hear it. It is twice I found you and called you. Oh, okay. Points make prizes. Exactly. Right? The fact is, if it means I have to give them points, but I get to point out how everything they say makes my point, like, okay, I guess that's the trade-off. Oh yeah, totally. They obviously this piece of shit doesn't work. Obviously this piece of shit is living off of that stipend that they all get off the American tax dollars. He's here every time I go live for the entire time. Morning, noon, night. Doesn't matter. He's here every day. Which, again, I don't think he is necessarily a him. I think it's a they. I think the profile is manned by a few different people. Again, why they hide their identity. If this guy was fucking really proud of who he is and all that shit, he wouldn't hide his identity. He's a fucking clown. He's a clown shoe. He's a piece of shit. Fair exchange is no robbery. This man smokes rocks. Absolutely. All the rocks. Yep. Look, he ran out of shit to say again. God bless Israel. Israel has the right to defend itself. He's flipping out. He can't maintain reasonable conversation without, spewing out the fucking pull cords. Israel has the right to defend itself. There you go. I appreciate that they're so stupid. They think like, you're not getting anywhere. You're proving my point. Keep fucking with me by saying these. Because, you're winning. You're absolutely winning. Right? I mean, it's got to be weird, right? Imagine if you knew that your entire existence was on the line. That the people that you had been subjugating for a few hundred years, because again, I'm not big on the thousands and thousands of years history that they give us. But not only are the slaves sort of in an uprising, it's an educated uprising. Like the slaves aren't just going, we don't like the way you treat us, which means all you have to do is treat them a little bit better. The slaves are finally going, hey, why are we slaves to you? You're inferior. You're disgusting. And we outnumber you exponentially. Like, why are we doing this again? It's got to be weird for them. You know, I know for me, I've been saying these things for a long time. I've been talking about I can proudly say I hated Israel before it was cool. But, like, I know that feeling of, like, you know, there's no, like, light at the end of the tunnel. Like, I can't believe nobody's seeing this. And, you know, it doesn't look like we can stop them kind of thing. As early as, like, 2022, you know, when they put Netanyahu back in charge while hiding it with Kanye. You know, I was like, man, this is bad. COVID, all that bullshit. But now, here we are 4 years later, and it looks like they're going to be wiped the fuck out soon. There's no way life ever goes back to Israel is a good guy, Israel is an ally, Israel, you know, anything. Their entire fucking narrative is just collapsing. What happened to the guy that was from Westland that said that the feds called him the night before? And then after he said that, he disappeared. What happened to that guy? Where'd he go? Literally, as soon as he said that the feds talked, you know, that it was the feds called him, and he said it was a fed. That was the last thing he said. What happened to that guy? Did they block him? Did he just get scared? I don't blame anybody for getting scared. This is a lot. You know what we're dealing with. You know, these monsters are my bro, may God have mercy on you. How about God has mercy on all the Christians being killed right now by the friars? How about God has mercy on all the children being raped by the clergy as we fucking speak? May God have mercy on your soul. You're out here trying to kill pedophiles and overthrow the friars. How dare you? How dare you? Because, you know, God would be a huge fan of the genocide taking place right now, right? Of American troops being sent over to die on the ground fighting Israel's ground war when Israel won't even send its troops. Yeah, I bet your God would be real happy about that. These fucking pieces of shit, man. Literal inbreds, exactly. For any to think they can come to the Father without the Son. Like, see what I mean? Christians, as soon as you start trying to have a conversation with them in reality, they start speaking some weird-ass language. Listen to this. For any to think they can come to the Father without the Son, period. Even if you don't believe Israel is our ally, they do not deserve genocide. Humanity is sinning and claiming it is the will of God. What the fuck are you even talking about? I was watching Rathbone, who was highlighting this Asian cooking show guy. I don't know his fucking name. But he decided he was going to engage in the conversation, and he starts saying, more Israelis died on October 7th than in 9/11. More Israelis died on October 7th than Americans did on 9/11. Like, that is just a categorically false statement that is, like, nobody in their right fucking mind believes that. Nobody even says that shit. Especially considering no Israelis died on October 7th or were taken hostage. It was all just false flag. And you know what? Because where have the hostages been? Have you heard anything about the Israeli hostages since? They bled that turnip as much as they could, but since then, isn't it weird? Nothing. No hostages have gotten better. No, this hostage died because they were so malnourished, and nothing. The hostages are getting together and demanding that, like, nothing. You haven't heard a fucking word. And it's just like with Naomi Elkins. The reason it's gone and they don't talk about it is because they don't want people looking into it. As soon as you start looking into it, you'll see there were never any real hostages. You'll see that no Israelis actually died on October 7th. They don't even tell you Israelis died on October 7th. They're reported as around 1,100 people in Israel died. Which, if you aren't just informed by one news source, if you look for yourself, you'll see that initially Israel said almost immediately they killed 1,500 Hamas within Israel as a result, like almost immediately. So when they start claiming that around 1,100 people in Israel died, well, they're not lying. They're just letting you connect dots that don't need to be connected. If you look it up, you'll see it. Why do they always say 1,100 people in Israel? 1,129 people in Israel. They don't refer to themselves as that. You haven't heard one of these dumb friars yet say, the people in Israel deserve this, that. They don't say that. It's all fake. It's all fucking fake. Israel doesn't even have free press. Well, they have Israel Hayom, though. Israel Hayom, Israel's #1 free paper that like I said, it took me a minute to figure it out. Because I was wondering why Israel Hayom would ever publish the Bottom of Darkness article. But it's because they never, they're stupid. Remember, these are fucking inbred morons. So they just assume a goy like me is never going to find that paper. Never going to find that article. It's an Israel Hayom article. It's distributed free in Israel. Why would I know about it? Belch. But I do. And because they never expected Goyim to find or figure it out, the article is made for other abuse survivors who are thinking about speaking up. And it's telling them, shut your fucking mouth. Don't say anything. Nothing good will come of it. You'll just get called crazy. Your family will get harassed. You know how Israel does things. We'll do it to you.
I would love to have been a fly on the wall at the meeting where the executives at Lebanon decided that regardless of the cost of those their best.
Look at this dumbass. You have 18 and 12, 13 and 11. My brothers will soon see, but then you will be like me, for the rapture will not come for us, but through the fire we will be made holy. And God, what a stupid motherfucker. Like, can you imagine not being able to have a conversation without being like, and He-Man, because see, Adam is actually He-Man, but most people don't know about it. Yeah, most people can't tell. So whenever they're at some place and Adam happens to be there and danger happens, he makes an excuse, right? And he runs off with Cringer his green tiger kitty, who's all scary. And then it gets all thundery and lightning out for a minute, and then suddenly He-Man, who's like a tanner version of Adam, comes out riding Thundercat, or what's his name? Battle Cat. And you're like, yeah, dude, but like, let's talk about politics. And you're like, no, politics, for real. Like, He-Man, his family, like, he represents Eternia. No, for real. No, it's for real. And you're just like, man, do you have an independent thought? Or is it all based on this fairy tale? And they just keep proving that it's all just fairy tale bullshit. Do you think Hamas had to go? Hamas isn't real. Hamas is Al-Qaeda. Hamas is ISIS. Do you guys remember, because Pudding talks about it, back in 2025, early 2025, when out of the blue, ISIS attacks a Russian theater where, 130 people are killed or something. But it's ISIS that does it. ISIS comes out of it. They haven't done anything in like 11 years or some shit. Haven't heard from ISIS doing anything. They pop up to attack this theater, which again, who knows what the actual reality is behind that narrative. And then they've disappeared since. We haven't heard anything from them since. It also just so happened to happen that the day that happened, where everybody was like, oh my God, ISIS, Israel had attacked 2 separate hospitals. 2 fucking hospitals. But because, we were all distracted by, oh, ISIS, it's ISIS. Nobody talked about the hospitals.
Why was the Kirk narrative immediately?
So Hamas is nothing. Hamas is just the boogeyman. There when they need them. It's what they identify people as. Because the Palestinians don't have a government, nor do they have a military. So for a military to be attacking civilians is illegal by Geneva Convention standards, right? You can't use a military to attack a fucking civilian population. That's war crimes. So what they do is they say, oh, well, those aren't civilians. Those are Hamas militants. Those are militants. And in your dumbass Goyim head, you hear militant, military. Okay, I guess that's okay. And so anyone that they want to kill, they just say, oh, he's a Hamas militant. He's Hamas. And it works. Because, again, they control the news, they control the government, they control all the aspects that would hold them accountable. And so it's just a nice, neat little package that's delivered. Yeah, they definitely need to take their meds, don't they? Oh, you waiting a long time. Look, he just keeps fucking resetting. Israel supports human rights and journalism. Now you know he's just trolling, right? Because nobody in their right fucking mind says that. Israel's killed how many fucking journalists? And journalists are off limits. Press are off limits. You're not allowed to kill press. Israel kills journalists all the time. Remember when they killed all those ambulance workers? And then they buried the ambulances and hid the whole thing? But then the phone was found and showed the video? Yeah, they sure got in a lot of trouble for that. Oh, no. No, they didn't get in any trouble. Hi, David. I wish my cat's name wasn't David. That's how much I hate these fucking fryers. I've seen my own death. Yeah, sure. Sure. What a dumbass. What a dumbass. Why? Like, right here. Nobody needs to give this fucking piece of shit any more points. Right? He's clearly not saying anything real or that matters. He's clearly just trying to distract. And all you're doing is giving him points by responding to him.
The only thing that works is when we kirk the jerks and be the Goyim pride that we are meant to be.
Let's see. Nobody's saying anything that matters. I got a message to tell me I must adhere to community guidelines and not participate or not be prejudiced to any group of people. For example, no shit. How narcissistic can he get? We are all going to see our own death. No, he's saying he's seen it already. He's seen when it happens, and he knows he's going to be an old man.
Yahoo has given full condolences, but know this: if anyone calls out the hopeless situation,
proud Goyim, man, proud Team Goyim here. The fact is that hashtag Team Goyim will always be traced back to me. You ever go try to find it? You ever do a deep dive into it? It'll come back to me. These pieces of shit are just, they can't help but be what they are. My feed is one of those good examples for when people like my wife, who are good people, say things like, well, you can't blame all of them. You can't blame all of the friars for what some of them do. And I'm still waiting for a decent one to show up. I've been doing this for far too long. I've had thousands and thousands of them come through here crying about one thing or another. Not one of them has said anything stand up. Not one of them has said anything that maybe makes you think, I guess they're not that bad. They're the worst. Right? They're the worst.
Israel made Charlie Kirk, and Israel took him out. Their sacrifice only works when we are filled with doubt. And Israel's not about to kirk one of their own. We're supposed to scream and shout while feeling nothing but alone.
I can't stand how the Kirk narrative has been changed. The fact is, you don't see the friars coming out of the woodwork talking bad about Charlie, which means he never turned on Israel. All of the shit that people try to claim as Charlie had turned on Israel and he was asking, it's taken out of context. They cut off the thing he says before he says the thing that they're quoting. Or the video, the clip that they're showing. There's this one video where he's talking to Ben Shapiro and he's like, but Ben, I thought you guys controlled the media. Yeah, but he's being sarcastic. But people take it as him being serious. Riches, power, and time will not save me, only Christ. Right. You know what? The fact that you think you need saving so bad just really points to the fact that you're a piece of shit person. You're basically acknowledging your pedophile tendencies, right? Because what could you possibly do that is so bad you won't talk about it, but you think you need redemption? You think you need to be saved all the time? Are you really that much of a sinner? Christians are just fucking stupid, man. It's weird that you see 12 and I see 11. It's been that way for a while. Seriously, so what does that say about what is taught to 50 people? Seriously, what does that say about what is taught to 50 people? I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, sorry, Doug. We're not fucking raping children like you like. We're not killing innocent people like you like on this feed. We're just talking about how disgusting you friars are. You dumb piece of shit Trump supporters. Seriously, if you have been here for any length of period of time and you were here before Trump got elected, especially during the campaign bullshit, and you could see all of the comments that came through at that time. You guys remember that shit? Do you guys remember how the number one thing that Trumpanzees was saying was that Trump is going to lower the gas prices, lower the gas and the food prices that Biden and Kamala raised on us all by themselves? That was their main fucking argument. Trump's going to lower the gas and food prices and secure the borders. Where the fuck are all the Trumpanzees talking about gas prices? I bet you wish we had Biden back now. While you're driving to work and you can't afford anything? You can't afford to fill up your tank? You got a kid that's, potentially going to be drafted. All these things. You still a big old Trumpanzee, are you?
If you can prove I'm not your God's plan, then I'll say that's proof.
What happened to the United States is the number one producer of crude oil in the world? What happened to we have enough reserves to last 25 years plus? Do you guys not remember that shit? When they lowered the gas prices down to almost $1 per gallon? And Trump was bragging all about it because that was the one thing that they had? Do you guys not remember that shit? Dumbass says, I can't defend the gas prices myself, but that being said, I do see the vision that Trump has about taking more oil from the Middle East, but I think he's finding it difficult. What the fuck are you talking about, you dumb fucking piece of shit? Are you you see a plan that nobody else does? Because I don't know anybody else that even can name what Trump's plan is. Trump hasn't given us a plan. Just like the healthcare package that he's been saying for almost 20 years, how they have the workings of it. We have the workings of a healthcare package. We have the workings. We're putting it together. We have ideas. We're getting closer. Greedy bastards. Oh, look. Running out of shit to say, so they start flying the blue and white pedo flag. How can they? There's nothing they can argue. So they resort to the standards. The best part is, I allow this piece of shit to be here. For hours after hours after hours every day. Instead of scouring the web for children, this guy is on here begging for attention. And I'm okay with that. If I can say I did my part to keep these fucking pedos busy, I'll do it. No flags. No flags. The American flag is bullshit. The idea of America is bullshit. It's all a false fucking narrative. The narrative that you think about 1776 and the War of Independence and the War of 1812 and all of this bullshit is not fucking real. It's just bullshit narrative they gave us. The idea of nationalism, where you can trick a whole bunch of people into doing horrible shit by telling them they're defending their homeland.
He said our square peg led to round hole confusion, and that sounded like music to everyone's ears. then we disappear. So I reason that you're not fearing the ship.
Just think about what they're fucking doing.
He clearly admit when sticking the landing, where we merely adrift
You know,
before committing standing to
this is just insane to me.
From my understanding, we handed the keys and
This is just insane to me. I can show you the oldest photographs of any city that exist. More than likely, those photographs will show an empty fucking city. And they'll show a city that is huge and sprawling and old looking. It doesn't look like it was just built. And if I ask you how you can explain these photographs, you're not going to have an explanation. You might not have looked, so you don't know. But once you see it, there's just no explaining it outside of we're being lied to. And when you understand that we've been lied to about our entire narrative, to now think, well, I'm going to go die for that American flag right there, for that Palestinian. Why does everybody have a flag in the first fucking place? Why do all the flags look the same? How come nobody has a flag that's, a different shape, a different size? Why does everybody even have a flag to begin with? Everybody has the same kind of flags, the same symbolism on each flag, the coat of arms, the fucking, the lions and shit. Like, it's all the same bullshit. They're just dividing it up so they can see it. And then trick us into having some sort of civic and racial and civic pride. Those are the dumbest prides to have. You didn't do anything. You're proud that your parents had sex on the dirt that you live on. Or at least where you were born, I guess.
If you're a TBT fan, don't be stupid. Obviously, we want nothing bad to happen to this man or his family. We just wanted someone to know about even if that's not their intention. If you tell starving people you provide them with enough food to feed their village.
Just got their knowledge in your mouth and you speak the truth without faith in your heart. Hell is the destination. What the fuck are you talking about, you fucking clown? You weirdo. Let's just say Christianity ends up being the truth. Well, whatever version of Christianity you happen to believe. Because remember, if I ask you why you're this particular version of Christian, you're not going to be able to tell me. You have no fucking idea. You don't even know the difference between yours and the other ones. If I ask you why all of those other ones are wrong, you have no idea. You can't tell me. Other than, well, the Bible says, okay. But if whatever version you happen to believe in ends up being true, and I die, and I'm standing there at the pearly gates talking to St. Peter, and of course, I'm in a long-ass line, right? If I'm the type of person that gets sent to hell because I spoke out against pedophilia, because I spoke out against genocide, because I didn't just know my place, fucking A, send me. The funniest thing is, every single one of you Christians will be there too. Nowhere in your Bible does it say, as long as you repent, then you get to go to heaven when you die. You can sin all you want to. Just repent when you're done and everything will be forgiven. Doesn't say that anywhere. It's funny that you all believe it, but then again, you all believe that Muslims think that if they suicide bomb, they'll get 72 virgins in the afterlife. And that shit doesn't exist. That is a friar narrative made up to make people, to make people fall for it. The sickest part of it is, these friars are sitting around thinking, what can we tell people that will justify someone strapping a bomb to themselves and then going and blowing themselves up and killing a bunch of other innocent people? What can we tell them is the reward for that? Because that's pretty significant, right? How about this? How about we tell them when they die they get 72 two women to do whatever they want with? How about this? How about we make it virgins? Oh, even better. Yeah, 72 virgins. That sounds like a party for me, right? Oh, yay. Who wants 72 virgins? Especially considering there's no sex in heaven. Like, according to the Muslim belief, they're not having sex in heaven. So you just have a bunch of 12-year-old girls, 11-year-old, 10-year-old girls. You got 72 of them that you got to hang out with all fucking day, every day. Doesn't sound like heaven to me. And I know it sounds weird saying, well, they don't even get to have, like, the sex part is gross either way you look at it. But that's the way it's presented. You know, people don't say virgins because they're like, oh, they're just so pure of spirit. People want virgins because there's nobody to compare their tiny dick to. But these friars made that up. And they literally thought that if they told that to people, people would believe it because the prize is good enough. The prize is understand, well, fuck, if you're gonna kill yourself, you might as well get 72 virgins out of it. Jeez, that's what they're hoping happened. And the sad part is that shit did appeal to a lot of fucking Americans because there's way more pedophiles than everyone realizes. Your family has pedophiles in it. Your friends are pedophiles. Your neighbors are pedophiles. This dumbass is just going to keep fucking repeating himself. Jesus was Jewish, you moron. The Bible is a Jewish fairy tale. All of the characters in the Bible are Jewish. Mary was 12 years old when God impregnated her, 13 when she gave birth, and Joseph was at least 20-something, but was more likely between 50 and 80. But hey, yeah, you keep believing what you want. You know, they called themselves the synagogue of Satan because that was the thing that, like, you have to be born into their club. If your mother is one of them, you are one of them. Anybody can be Christian. Anybody can be Muslim. You could just say you are, and you are. And to keep themselves away, to keep themselves separate so that Christians don't go, hey, why aren't we God's chosen people? Why are we the fucking slaves? Why are we the Gentile slaves? Why are we the Christian Gentile slaves? Like, what the fuck? Why are we that? Because they filled your head with so much satanic fucking bullshit. They go, oh, there's a synagogue of Satan. And people go, oh, well, shit, I don't want anything to do with that. That's the synagogue of Satan, especially fat black women. I don't want nothing to do with that. Oh, no. It's fucking insane. You just had an argument with about Naomi Elkins with ChatGPT. Well, good. I'm glad you did that. The whole thing is just one big fucking work. It's a big fucking illusion, a big work to trick you into believing their shit. To trick you into believing, into fighting, into dying for your second-class status. Because that's what you are. You're second tier, and you know it. You're not even your own God's favorite people. And you don't think anything's weird about that. If you really want to see the truth about Naomi Elkins with ChatGPT, you have to go back a couple of days ago and watch my first conversation with it about Naomi. Because they hadn't had their time, they hadn't had their example, their whatever to base the narrative off of. It was definitely updated after my conversation. That within that 24 hours, it was updated. But that first day, where ChatGPT is like, no, this is fucking weird. 90-minute trial. Bitch was dry. Gotta remember the bitch was dry. There was evidence of cleanup. The whole floor had been mopped. Why would the whole kitchen floor and area be mopped if the killings happened in the bathroom? Why were they cleaning up so much evidence if it was just a mother killing her 2 kids in bathrooms? Right? It's all right in front of you. And ChatGPT said it. Better to be second class in a first world nation than third world anywhere. Sure. Like, again, I guess that's the narrative that shows you the mentality that they want you to have. You know, the whole white people, it could be worse. I could be a black person. So I guess I don't need all of my rights. I don't need to live in the utopia I should live in, because at least I'm not black. At least I don't have to live like the Arabs do. At least I don't have to live like the third world countries do. They let me have this. Don't you realize that everyone could be living a first world life? And that life would be a lot better than what we live right now? Your life could be a lot better, along with everyone else's. I always say that the key to all of this is something called true selfishness. And true selfishness is the fact that I want myself, my wife, and my children to live the happiest, healthiest, safest lives they can live. And the only way that could ever happen is if everyone else is living the happiest, healthiest, safest lives they can live. I want everyone else's life to get better, so mine gets better. Call that as selfish as you want. I'm cool with it. It could be worse. I could be you. Well, I know, like, you would hate yourself. If you were me, and you were still being a pedophile and a genocide supporter, you'd probably kill yourself, right? Because I would. If I somehow got tricked into, I can't even wrap my head around it, but if I was a pedo, I would kill myself. I encourage you guys to every day.
I am tired. I am weary. I could sleep for 1,000 years.
Thanks, guy. Mine is to leave this plane of existence less shitty than I am. Again, that's like a weak ass goal. I don't want it to be less shitty than I live. I don't want my children, my children's children, children's children. I don't want them to have anything close to what we have. I want it to be exponentially better. I don't want them to have the friar cancer that they have to worry about. You know? I don't want them to have to worry about suffering. I want them to live in the free energy society that clearly used to be here. You know, we were one world, we were a one world unified system if you just look at the old buildings. That's why they all look the same. And they're phenomenal beyond anything we could even hope to do now. With all of the resources, technology, money, if everything was unlimited, we still could not produce the shit. How come we're not building pentagons all over the place? If we could build the Pentagon from September 11th, yes, 60-year anniversary, September 11th. September 11th, 1941 to January of 1943, roughly 15, 16 months, including all of the planning. If we could build the Pentagon back then, why aren't we building more? Why haven't we built anything even close to it since? Who doesn't think we should eliminate metzitzia? I mean, what kind of piece of shit do you have to be to support that pedophile shit? I'd love if the black community would do better because that would solve a lot of the problems, but the black community doesn't want to do better, so I don't give a shit. Yup, black people just don't want to do better. That's what it is. Little dick white man. Like that tiny prick, that tiny pecker just has you guys so fucking stupid, it's unreal. Just unfucking real. We were a united world. Look at slavery and how it was it was unified worlds. Yeah. It wasn't slavery, you dumbasses. Slaves don't build, immaculately beautiful construction. How do slaves just have that? They just have, architectural degrees and they're all just master masons and they're all, artisans and artists and, all you have to do is get yourself a handful of slaves and you can create anything you want. You don't even have to have blueprints or anything. You just say slaves build an amazing, a building that will last forever out of materials that don't exist as far as the future is going to be concerned. Just do it. We do it. You're slaves. Like, you have to be fucking stupid to accept these narratives. And we all are. They make us that way. That's what school is. School is not about teaching you to think, ask questions, get to the bottom of things. If you don't write the correct answer, you don't get a good paycheck. And if you don't get your paycheck, you get grounded. You don't have nice things. You ask too many questions in school and you get called a troublemaker. You're a troublemaker because you don't just regurgitate what you're supposed to regurgitate. Don't you know you're going to be sitting in a cubicle where all you're going to have to do is regurgitate what you're told? Better get used to it. Somebody's got to do the work for these chosen. Somebody's got to cook their fries and feed their car or fix their cars and clean their houses and I just attack anyone who disagrees with them. Yep. I just attack them. It'd be one thing if people actually disagreed, but that's not what's happening. People are just saying stupid shit. Black people don't want things to get better. What kind of dumbass are you other than a typical little dick white guy dumbass? White guys have to always belittle and do that shit to make themselves feel better. Because even though they have every advantage possible, at the end of the day, the last thing any white guy wants is for his woman to have had sex with a black guy. Not because the woman is now tainted or some shit, no matter what he might say. It's because he's worried that black guy had the big scary black man dick. And he knows that he has nothing even close. And he's worried that she's always going to be thinking about that, wishing she was having that while he's pounding away. And she's like, are you done yet? Oh, baby, this feels so good. Oh, yes. Like if your girl is going, looking all sexy and putting on the show, she's faking. Orgasms are ugly. They make these guttural noises and they're not worried about how sexy they look when it's happening. If you think that, oh no, I've had her screaming and howling once. When I was first engaging in those activities, this dude, one of my friends, and I both had sex with the same girl. And he was bragging about it before she got there, about how she was screaming and he had her all over. He was just banging it out. She was loving it. She was making all kinds of noises and shit. And then she came over and we're all talking and whatever, and she was like, yeah, no, and like when I get off, I'm quiet. When I'm making noises and shit, it's just the show. And I remember looking at him and he was got this weird look on his face. But I just thought it was so funny because she wasn't what you would expect as a dumb young 16, 17-year-old kid, where you're expecting the porn and you're expecting her to do all that. No, she was, and it was so funny. So funny. We have Caplock Ken here. Too stupid to say anything that matters. It's amazing how difficult this feed, the difficulty this feed has with maintaining the numbers. I go from 19 and 20 viewers down to 10 in a blink. Blink, blink. And of course, this must be the point where they're starting to they got sick of me, so they're cutting it. I started talking about dicks again. No, it's funny because it's either I'm getting censored or there's, very likely there's some white guys on here that are getting really upset about what I'm saying. You know who I feel sorry for the most? The black guy with the tiny dick. Can you imagine how awful that would have to be? Girls all like, I'm going to make my dad mad. I'm going to have sex with this guy. It'll be worth it because I'm going to finally have an orgasm. And then you drop your pants and she's like, That'd have to be awful. And we know, not only do we know they have micro penises from Megyn Kelly and Marjorie Trader Brown talking about Mark Levin. Well, you also know, like, from their Talmud, where they say that if they rape a child and it's less than 3 years and 1 day old, it's considered a poke in the eye. It didn't happen. It's like a poke in the eye. The hymen grows back. Well, it probably never got broken in the first place with your micropenis. It's just why you think it grows back. But the Megyn Kelly thing is funny because, it was just a sort of a fly-by-night sort of thing she said, and that was that. It had been, definitely hadn't been talked about more by the media machine. But, I was asking, like, why has that part of this, why has that gone so quiet? Why aren't people talking about the micro penis thing? And interestingly, Israel just put out an AI video that had Tucker Carlson in a beard and a supposedly like a suicide bomber vest. Where does somebody even buy a suicide bomber vest? Why do they all shop at the same place? Now that I mention it. But it's Tucker in the backseat of OJ's Bronco with Candace Owens driving and Megyn Kelly sitting shotgun. And obviously Israel made it, right? And it's supposed to be a mockery of them. But it just says, says shit like at one point they have Megyn Kelly saying, I have a huge pussy, but no pussy can feel a micro penis. And it, like, it just keeps repeating micro penises, and oh, micro penises are so unsatisfying, and all these things that are like, it's like, who are they trying to appeal to? Like, everything they're saying is fucking true. If you have a huge pussy, that's one thing, but no pussy can feel a micro penis. That's not a good thing. Like, a pussy feeling your penis is how it's supposed to be. It's not supposed to be a negative thing. But their video clearly shows that it hurt their fucking feelings. Boy, howdy. Did Megyn Kelly hurt some feelings by talking about Mark Levin's micro penis? Like, it's by far the most, repeated thing in the video. And it's like a 4-minute video. And at times they're just crying, and it's just such a poor, and it's so poorly made, and so like you compare it to the AI videos from Iran, you compare it to AI videos pretty much in general, and this video just looks like absolute shit. No penis can, or no pussy can feel a micro penis. Micro penises are unsatisfying. Like, the idea of a satisfied woman is a bad thing. Women shouldn't be satisfied. They never are in our household, that's for sure. It's fucking hilarious, right? It really, it's like, again, it's that if you open up the books on Israel, you demonize Israel kind of stupidity. Where it's like, who told you to say that? Like, nobody hears that and goes, oh, that makes sense. If you open up the books on Israel and it demonizes Israel, it's because Israel's awful. You don't hear the Palestinians talking about, don't open up the books on Palestine, it'll make the Palestinians look bad. You literally don't hear anybody else saying something so stupid. If you're the heroes, if you're the good guys, you encourage people to look at your past. Look at all the great things you've done. You don't cry and say, oh, if you look at what I've done in the past, it makes me look bad. Don't do that. You're not allowed to do that. They're so fucking crazy, man. And you can see it. You can see it in the same energy, the same micro penis energy is alive and well in my comment section. It's the exact same kind of stupid. It's the exact same kind of embarrassing, low budget, really obvious to anybody but them kind of shit. Because they think it's like, oh, we got. If you look at the video they made about me, the only Guy Williams Sucks video that exists on YouTube, surprisingly, or unsurprisingly, I guess. But if you look at the video they made about me, it has the exact same little dick energy, to the point where, they pointed out, obviously me talking about their tiny penises really, really upset them. I mean, at the end of the day, as fucked up as it might sound, like, thankfully they have micro penises because they're doing less physical damage to all the children that they fuck with. Right? I mean, it's fucked up, but that's, if there's gonna be a silver lining, that's it.
Hey, yo, I'd like to make 6 million pizzas. How long do you think it would take? It's as ridiculous as their metzitzia to think I could successfully make 6 million of anything. Stores are all that one has if they tell you that someone can make 6 million of something less. And look into their eyes while you ask for an answer to the simplest question. If the narrative's lost in the math, is the truth another extension, bridging the gaps in needs. Keeping our class in detention ensures that counts can stay. The math just isn't mathing, so you're lying. You act just like you're grasping bottled lightning. While the last ones who are laughing push the pie thing, attacking anyone who's asking or denying. The pizza is the gate to the surprising, keeping you in faith while they're supplying. The reason it's all fake, they're compromising. The math just doesn't act straight, so they're lying. Let's just go by the numbers. Awaken from your slumber like mushrooms to a plumber. You need to grow up. You know you would like lumber. Choose wicked smart over dumber. The juice inside the tumbler puts the poison in the cup. But let's just get back to what I was trying to figure out. Their story's so corrupt, it should only lead to doubt. Since cooking a pizza takes about 5 minutes, it's weird because 30 million minutes amounts to 57 friggin' years. The math just isn't mathing, so you're lying. You act just like you're grasping bottled lightning. While the last ones who are laughing push the pie thing, attacking anyone who's asking or denying. The pizza is the gate to the surprising, keeping you in faith while they're supplying. The reason it's all fake, they're compromising. The math just doesn't match, so they're lying. So if I ended up succeeding with my 6 million pizza goal, would you say it's lies or cheating if I said I take a goal just for you? Roll, or would you worship every word? Is 4,000 plus pizzas per day a troll you'd wisely call absurd? Does 3 made every minute work in anyone's equation? Are you more or less assured you have the accurate information? Someone lies right to your face, then demands you give them favor. Do you call it out as brazen, or do you whip out Occam's razor? This is just about pizza and math. I don't know why anybody would think there's anything more going on here. Come on, it's just pizza and math. You know, whatever gates you go through to get your answers, that's on you. But TBG is just talking about pizza and math. TBG.
Oh, shit's so good. So good. So good. I can't listen to anything else anyway. You understand that. If I put anything else in the background, the video will shut down. They'll just shut the video down. They'll just block it. If I happen to have the radio on in the background too loud, it'll just get blocked. It's just what they do.
Sky Daddy's watching over you, and that's what you believe. Like when guys in the vocal booth, the truth's not hard to see. Doing everything you're told to do, you prove you've been deceived. Like accepting that your cold or flu spreads through a cough or sneeze. They have you caught in a disease where you're often made to bleed. Lost and on your knees, your needs are secondary. Your resolve is all beneath the appalling small relief you get when falling for the chief. You call the leader who can carry the weight of the world and barely show their greatness in the charity where grace with no transparency is rarely ever seen. The racist who apparently make this seem so scary, we are faced with what invariably very much demeans the
Why do you think
dream we call reality.
Why do you think most people, my wife says it all the time, When she listens to music, she doesn't listen to the words. She doesn't know what most of the songs she really likes are about. She can sing the words, she knows the words, but she's never bothered to listen to the words. She hears the words, she just doesn't listen to the words. Why did that happen? Why is that the way it is? I want the words to be the most important part. The music's just the accent. The music's just the background, the thing that accentuates the vocals. But the song's message should be the most important fucking thing, and it shouldn't be hidden behind some goofy ass metaphor. I want you to know exactly what the fuck I'm talking about.
Showed an obvious genocide by those who deny they cause it. Their show is known to petrify those hiding like an ostrich, homegrown on their insecticide. The lies that we're accosted by are only half the size, like guys who bread their sausage is the kind of make you cautious, providing truth that hurts. But it's no surprise that you get nauseous when you either just asserts the rise in discussing worth ensures increase in value, like the horizon of the earth always never seems to fail to work its way out of the mailroom and Sailor Moon up to eye level. We should certainly rebel who rides the rails to hide the devil that the Zionists all peddle as the bed you'll have to lie in. If you try to test their metal, then your head will find the lion, since we're bred to be the Brian to these crying, whiny Peters who instead of compromising are annihilating eaters. They're prize-winning deceivers, beaters of women and children. And if you put eyes on these cheaters, they'll fly their planes into your building. Because you dumb like that, and you don't know no better.
I swear, man, every time I hear it, it just gets better. Couldn't care less if you don't like what I do. I am so sick of everything that's available to us. That's why we make our own, because I'm sick of hearing nothing. Bacardi and party, yeah. Black diamonds on far side, yeah. It ain't tricking if you got it, yeah. Nigga, bitch, nigga, hoes. Nigga, shoot, niggas, bitches, drugs, hoes. You guys haven't heard enough of that?
144,000 spots in heaven, and you're out recruiting new people to go to the party you die to attend, yet you blame it on free will. Remember, you climb a steep hill, but it's the devil's fault if you fall. Raising your Jim Caviezel while still claiming you live on a ball. Maintaining the flaws, causing depression, restraining your jaws to absolve your aggression, recalling impressions, the lessons I gave you, declawing impression, installed you to brave you. Always is late to the ball in the great screw, all that you hate. Do you think you're that special? Drawing a blank through, stalling in fake blue, the walls you create move things along on your schedule. You're wrong and the bed you'll head to progress proves your death would be the best. Full stop, as the kids say. When you step to the vestibule, the message you're the best pull. Stress from intellectuals, your cop's just an egg pay.
Your cop's just an egg pay. Love it.
Don't make no sense, but it does make lots of dollars.
So good. So good. Arise, chicken. Nobody else is doing this shit. And that's why everybody else is allowed. Imagine if they actually let me, like, through. If I had the same just regular opportunities as anybody else does.
Then again, do I? Pretending to bend the rules as he lends his voice to the trends like a good guy. A government spy claiming.
Imagine it. Imagine there was somebody like me that was willing to go live every day and talk about this shit that we're not supposed to talk about, while also making songs that bang and can cross cultures, can cross boundaries. You know, it's one thing to have people who don't speak the language watch the video. You know, they can pick up whatever they can from it. But when it's a song, all they have to do is look up the vocals, look up the words. And then they can translate it for themselves, and they can hear what the song's saying, and they can get behind it, and it can be something that they'd say if they could, but not everybody's able to do it. So when somebody does do it, and you can say what they're saying, it becomes that anthem for you. Everybody should be asking, where are the fucking Epstein tapes? Not the files, the fucking tapes. The tapes that they found in Epstein's little special secret hidden room with the fucking, in the safe, with the labels on them that had the famous person's name, the victim, and their age in some cases. Where the fuck are the tapes? Your music would? Yeah, it would. Of course it would. Of course it would. You know, I don't think everybody in the world is going to like it. There are a lot of pedophiles out there. There are a lot of dumb people that wouldn't know, 30% of the words even used. But there's more than enough that it could be not this. That's for sure. I never thought I would make something that everyone likes. That's impossible. But at the same time, it might not be your initial cup of tea. See, I always call it fourth album syndrome. Or third album syndrome, if you want. When Led Zeppelin dropped Led Zeppelin 3, I try to put myself back in those days, right? Like, there's no internet. There's nothing to prepare you for it. You know maybe that Led Zeppelin is dropping the album. If you're a big fan, maybe you've heard bits or pieces of it that were given to you. Again, it wasn't like you could look shit up. It's so hard to actually wrap your head around that we couldn't just look shit up. You could maybe go to the library, but the library is full of a bunch of old information. What would you do? Where would you look up something that had to do with pop culture? What would you do? You call the record company and hopefully they respond to you? Some shit like that? Right? That was what it was like back then. I used to call information.
555-1212.
Right? I would call information and ask questions. Just be like, hey, do you know the answer to this? And most of the time somebody did. If they didn't know it, they'd ask the person sitting next to them. We have such a unique situation. No, not unique. Such a unique situation in the history of man, I should say. The Encyclopedia Britannica. Right, you wouldn't know. But Led Zeppelin, you're a big Zeppelin fan. You're a long hair. Stupid long hairs. You don't like other shit because it's just not heavy like Zeppelin. Zeppelin is heavy. Zeppelin is the wall of sound, man. Boom! That shit, like you're fucking unicorn. I recorded that album once off of a CD onto a tape, and I recorded it overnight while I slept. And the CD was janky, and I didn't know it. And so it would skip at certain parts. And it ended up making like the coolest remix version of that album. Like I used to listen to it all the time, and it was just so cool when it happened to skip and how it happened to skip. Really weird. I taped a CD, so it's like 1997, 8, something like that. But then Led Zeppelin 3 comes out, so you save up your money. You're at the record store. You buy the fucking... You get it. You can't wait to get home and put it on your record player. This is not pop the tape in the deck thing. This is record player time. You'd have to have it on record. That was literally it. 8 tracks weren't even big yet. But you put on Led Zeppelin 3. You sit down, roll yourself a joint, pop yourself a beer, put the fucking needle on, sit down, get ready for your Magna box. What was it? Was it Magna box? Magna box? Magna. Remember that picture of the dude sitting in the chair, sitting in front of the speakers, and it's like blowing him, and the glass of wine is tipping into his hand, and he's sitting there, and you're waiting for that experience, right? And then Led Zeppelin 3 comes on. And you're like, what the fuck? What is this country hillbilly bullshit about? What? This isn't Led Zeppelin. Pull it out, like, look, like, what the fuck is going on here? Oh, Led Zeppelin sold out. Oh, Led Zeppelin, fuck that, man. Fuck this. Oh, fuck that. Pull it off. Put it away. You're pissed. Favorite band has shit the bed. And then a couple weeks go by. Friend's house. You're hanging out. You know, like people used to, where they would talk, play chess. Listen to music, talk.
Especially considered. I don't think anybody else has been.
And you're jamming out. And you're like, what the fuck? Man, what is this? What are we listening to? You know, this is pretty good. What is this? And your friend looks at you like, what are you talking about? What is this? You're the biggest Zeppelin fan I know. And it's like, what? This is Zeppelin? Yeah, man, this is 3. I thought you had this. What the fuck? You haven't heard this yet? And you're like, well, I did, but I went into it with a bunch of expectations, and my expectations let me down. But now that I had no expectations and I'm just listening to it for what it is, holy shit, this is some of the best fucking Zeppelin there is. Right? And you realize, like, it's your expectations that let you down, not Zeppelin. And that's what I think we are. I think everything else that you've ever listened to are those first couple albums. And they've set your expectations so fucking low that, you know, somebody that's actually saying something, somebody that's actually taking advantage of the time they have in your world and saying something that actually matters, something that you could be proud to stand behind. Not some fucking, that is about a girl or whatever. Not some dumb, you know, radio goo goo, radio gaga. You know, this is something that good luck getting that out of your head too. This song works like a fucking charm, man. I've played this for my kids while they're going to sleep a couple of times now, and they pass out. They're done by the end of the song. And I wanted this song to be like 10 minutes long, but Charles didn't take advantage.
Sliding through the colorful kaleidoscope.
Look at these dumb fucking... Look at these dumb comments. So this guy says, this Israeli profile, openly Israeli profile says, Guy Williams likes to self-project, then says, Guy Williams was dropped by his mother as an infant. Right. Because my mom was a dumb friar, right? Some dumb whore. You guys are hilarious, man. You just can't fucking do you can't say anything. You just can't say anything that matters. I don't care what you think. Look at the facts. Which facts? What? The fact that you guys are performing metzitzia 3,000 to 3,600 times per year in just New York alone? That doesn't include New Jersey, where you have Lakewood. Wonder how many are happening in Lakewood every fucking day. Is there anything that I do in my life where I just make my music and I go live and talk about shit. Like I am such a problem for making my shitty music that nobody likes and going live in a way that doesn't matter and nobody agrees with, that I get this much attention, that I have to be censored so much I have 6 viewers and 15 likes. The other day we were at like 24 likes and 3 viewers and shit. It just kept climbing while the view count kept dropping. Cause that's how shit works, right? Again, if you open up the books in Israel, you demonize Israel. If I don't matter and everything I do sucks, why does it threaten you so much? Like I seriously, I would have quit by now. Right? If I really did think that what I was doing didn't matter, I would have quit. But it's the obsession. And it's the stupidity. And then obviously combined with everything that I learned. At the end of the day, you can't cry about my sources. I get it from fucking Wikipedia. You guys control Wikipedia. I mean, is there a better source for me to look at as far as you piece of shit friars are concerned?
Let's see if we can.
Here you have.
In conjunction with My Israel, has arranged instruction day for wiki editors. The goal of the day is to teach people how to edit in Wikipedia, which is the #1 source of information today in the world. As a way of example, if someone searches the Gaza flotilla, we want to be there. We want to be the guys who influence what is written there, how it's written, and to ensure that it's balanced and Zionist in nature.
I came here to learn.
Isn't that interesting? Balanced and Zionist in nature. Did you see the news that Bezalel Smotrich, Naftali Bennett and Yair Lapid have joined forces? The Jewish Home Party, I believe it's called. I don't remember which one it's called. Jewish Power, Jewish Home, Jewish Supreme. Like, it's all, they love doing that. But I love how they're acting like these guys have joined forces. Like, what? Haven't they always been? Wasn't it Yair Lapid that took over when Naftali Bennett stepped back to the alternative prime minister position? While Yair Lapid took over as prime minister for a few months until November when they put Netanyahu in instead. Like, what do you mean they're joining forces? It's just so stupid. Fucking bum. You're hateful and a liar. Well, I'm absolutely hateful. I absolutely proudly hate everything about you guys. Everything. I couldn't be more proud of my anti-Semitism. It's actually one of the things I'm most proud of because I'm proud of anti-supremacy. Nobody should have any sort of supremacy, any sort of favor over anyone else. And then when you guys come in and you see how you guys are, it just strengthens that. Like there's why would I ever feel bad about hating such fucking monsters? Right? All you do is lie. It's literally their only defense is to pretend like somebody's lying for telling the truth, for telling like I know their shit. Are you going to tell me I'm lying about metzitzia? No. Are you going to tell me I'm lying about the Talmud? No. Am I lying about soul correction? No. Am I lying about Naomi Elkins? No. Am I lying about Semitism? No. What is the lie again? I get like 25 likes for farting. So exactly. Again, you just are so stupid, you don't even realize you're proving my point. For somebody with my likes, or with my views and my subscribers, I should have way more views and way more likes. That's how shit works. And I was on my way there until literally the day after Charlie got hurt. And you can go back and look at my videos, and you'll see that on September 10th, I did the last video for a long time that got over 1,000 views. And prior to that, most of them got over 1,000 views.
It's like writing the same word again and again and again and again and again and again.
I don't think that what I do doesn't matter. I'm not a bigot, self-loathing loser like you. Again, I don't really, when am I self-loathing and how do I hate myself? English isn't your first language, so you're probably having a hard time understanding. If I was like, would you understand then? No, there's nothing self-loathing about me. I'm extremely proud of everything I do. For example, there you go. Exactly. That's what they do. You're lying about all that. Talmud is a complex book that needs correct interpretation. So again, they're not denying what I'm saying. This dumbass jumps in and says the Talmud is a complex book that needs correct interpretation. Which, okay, so correct me as to what part I'm wrong about the Talmud and correct me as to the misinterpretation. If a Goyim rapes a child, they get put to death. If a friar, friars can't rape children less than 3 years and 1 day old because it doesn't happen. It's just it's like a poke in the eye. It's not like a real sort of, like they say that the hymen grows back and it's just like a poke in the eye. That's literally the words the Talmud uses. In the eye if the child is less than 3 years and 1 day old. If the child is over 3 years and 1 day, then the rapist is now required to pay the victim's family the full dowry, which is 50 shekels or 100 dinars, depending on what currency you're using. And the child now belongs to the rapist somewhere between a slave and a wife. That is from 3 to 12. At 12, the children are then auctioned off, basically, and they're betrothed to the much older man, at least 10-year plus older man that buys them or has the intent to buy them. So at 12, they get betrothed, which is why Mary was betrothed to Joseph. She wasn't yet married to Joseph. And they get groomed into being that guy's wife. If by chance they were betrothed before 12 or they get assaulted after they're 12, the marriage is all off, but the rapist now is required to pay double. So 100 shekels or 200 dinars. And then they belong to the rapist. And that's it. That's what the Talmud says. You tell me what I'm misinterpreting. I would love to hear how I'm misinterpreting this. Let's see. Now, see again, now that's American logic. Yep, it's American logic. What part am I missing? That's absurd. Okay. Why that? In American, I'm proud to be a loser. The only one that gets anything here has to be a crook. Okay. Proud owner of a bike, and I earned okay. Why do you get high every day if you aren't self-loathing? That's what's happening? Oh, okay. I thought it was my pain meds, but what do you know? Guess you know better. Let's see. This is what I mean when I say Guy Williams is a liar, okay? Guy, you were definitely dropped as an infant. Okay. Okay, so when asked to interpret things properly, apparently they got nothing. Can you hold this for a second?
Again. There's Santorini again.
Misinterpreting the 3-year-old thing.
How?
I don't know. They won't tell me. They just keep saying I'm a liar and I'm misinterpreting it, and then they won't actually address it.
But he's read it. Just like he's read passages out of the Bible. I mean, he always makes sure that he reads it from a commonly used, reputable source. So, like, when he reads a Bible excerpt, he usually reads it from the King James Bible, knowing that that's the most commonly referred to source. So, where he got this information was the Jewish form of the most commonly used source.
It's not like it's hard to find it.
Same purpose behind using Wikipedia.
It's just, this stuff isn't hard to find. It's just not talked about a lot. But right, because they know it'll be the end of them. If people really understood what they're about, you wouldn't just turn a blind eye and, well, they're chosen by God. You just wouldn't do it. Let's see. Now we get some more bullshit. I challenged Guy. I told him I'll take out a huge loan if he can come to Israel and film just one of the anti-Semitic things he's saying. What does that even make? Like, how did that make any sort of sense? You're going to pay me to come to Israel? Why would I come to Israel? Why would it be easier for you to pay me and then me to come to Israel and then Phil blah blah, instead of you just explaining what the fuck you're saying, backing up what the fuck you're saying? All you're doing right now is showing what a cowardly piece of shit you are. Right? You called me a liar. I challenged you and said that's bullshit. Show me how I'm lying. And your response to that is to be like, well, you should come to Israel. Why would I ever want to go to Israel and fuck up my sense of smell for the rest of my life? I don't want to go to pedophile land. I'm not a pedophile, so I wouldn't want to be around a bunch of sick, disgusting, smelly-ass pedophiles. What are you, fucking nuts? But this is the kind of shit they do. Yes, I'm a coward because I don't want to get on a plane and go to another fucking country, the worst country in the world, because some strange fucking random YouTube commenter who can't actually explain anything and who says nothing but horrible things, I should go. Like, what sense? I keep answering my own questions, right? What sense does this make? Well, they're friars. Makes all the sense when you realize they're fucking friars. They're as dumb as it gets. Like, this is just how it works. How am I the coward? You rape children. That's about as cowardly as it gets. But again, you just can't seemingly back up the claims that you make. That's pretty cowardly to make a fake profile, hiding your true identity, saying horrible shit. Then when called out, you cry about it. Like, it's really typical friar, but isn't it interesting that I have one viewer now? One viewer and 16 likes because there's nothing funny going on here. It's just how this shit works. Don't accuse me of that shit you do. I do? I practice friar rituals to harm children? How the fuck is that possible? The worst part is, your piece of shit parents did it to you. Your piece of shit parents did it to you. Your whore mother and your fucking asshole disgusting troll friar father, brought you to the soul correction services, brought you to the fucking rituals till you were 12, when you aged out of preference, and then by about 15, in order to get your own redemption, they forced you to do it to other children. The thing is, you know, in that situation, you can sort of like, you know, forgive the person. They were a child, they were being manipulated, this, that, and the other. But it's not, you didn't stop there. You kept going. And just like you were a victim every 2 weeks, you've become the victimizer every 2 weeks. Because you're a piece of shit. You're a fucking friar piece of shit. Will you share your perspective on what's happening with Iran? Everything that we're told to look at, everything we're told to pay attention to, is to distract us from the fact it's a bunch of fucking friar pedophiles pulling the strings. You know, we've all been conditioned to accept that war, especially against brown people, especially against Arabs, like that's something that we're supposed to actually be proud of, you know. But the majority of people outside the Trump supporters will not tolerate children being violated. And so the fact that these friar rituals are being exposed is you know, it shows you that the Goyim are just waking up left and right. And the fact that if they don't like hinder my feed, my numbers skyrocket. You know, I've had multiple videos go over 40,000 views when they cut it. They then just cut the video and delete it. But you know, they can't let me have a free open shot at this because I relate to too many people. Or too many people relate to me. You know, you have everybody else out there, all the Ian Carrolls, all the Stu Peters, the Nick Fuenteses, the Ian Blakeleys, the I don't fucking know. Tons of them. The Rathwell, all of them. And they all basically say the same shit. And they don't get anything like what happens to me. What happens to me is absolutely unique and telling. You know, I should be as big or bigger than all of those fucking guys. I've been doing this for longer than all of those guys. I've been right for a lot longer than all those guys because a lot of those guys are like, yeah, Flynn O'Quinn, Quinn O'Flynn, all those guys came out, made this video one day talking about, you know, Israel. I supported Israel up until October 7th and even after October 7th. But when I started seeing things and I didn't like what I was seeing, so I started asking questions. Well, they were mean to me. And that's where I draw the line. That's where I draw the line. They were mean to me. So I don't like them anymore. And now I'm going to call out all the shit that they do. And by the end of it, he said something like, you know, and there's still like hope that you know, if you just engage or so, if you stop being mean to me, then I might come back to your side, kind of shit. But to me, I go, how as an adult, especially, you know, as a kid, it's one thing, you're just told what to think, but as an adult, how could anyone ever support Israel? Like, what were you seeing that you supported? And they just, you know, people will avoid that left and right. But all of the other truthers that are allowed to exist, that are allowed to live a really good life,
has been going on for 70 plus years.
that are providing you with a software that you can download to your phone for free or to your computer for free, like Ian Carroll, Nick Fuentes, Stu Peters, all those people I named, fucking Dan Bilzerian, they all say the same shit. Jesus is the way, satanic pedophilia. Can't blame all of the friars because they have a couple of friars that are nice to their face. And they all focus on this genocide, the terrorism that's happening. And I can't blame anybody for focusing on the terrorism, but it's the distraction. Like I say, they hide worse shit behind awful shit. And so Naomi Elkins is a prime example of them hiding the truth behind a horrendous fucking story. Right? They're hiding the fact that the children were killed in friar rituals gone wrong. Maybe they went right. I don't know. Friar rituals. I wonder if those children were examined for being sexually assaulted or not. Probably not. Probably not. But the fact is, they came up with a story that's so horrendous, nobody's going to question it. She admitted it. She admitted that she stabbed the one and drowned the youngest one, and then captured the 3-year-old who was trying to hide, put her in the bathtub and kneeled on her chest while the water filled up, and then held her underwater. Really, why isn't she wet at all? Like, to me, it's the most obvious thing. And what do you think? Do you think if they let me have an open feed like everyone else, I couldn't make a fucking really good case for why that shit needs to be looked into? Just look at the footage that's available. Look at the cop saying, I just checked this. Oh yeah, okay, so this door is still locked from the other side, and not think twice about it. The husband's MIA. This door's locked from the other side. Hey, what's that over there? Oh, that's evidence that there was a bunch of mopping and cleanup that was done in the scene. Oh, well. Or the cop when they pull up to the shop. And again, for some reason, everybody thinks it's a lot funnier than it is. But the one cop comes walking up and the other cop goes, I'm rolling. Don't say anything. I'm rolling. Look how many people are smiling and having a good time in this double murder, child double murder scene where a bunch of friars are just walking around like it's nothing. Right? And then you see these fucking idiots, right? Like, do you understand? Like, if you don't hear what I just said and have a reaction to it, you're a piece of shit. You're going to talk about me when I just told you about a double fucking murder that's, ritual. Imagine if they would have been able to say it was Satanists. You think that story would have been all over the fucking TV, all over the world? Satanists drowned their two cells. Satanist woman found in the middle of ritual where there was cleanup, blah, 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 all this shit. And they were doing it for Satan. Do you think that would be worldwide story? Oh, look. Dumbass makes a pizza joke and then says, God bless Israel. Is it any more telling? Is it any? Do any of you make fucking pedophile jokes? Any real people, I'm saying. Obviously, I have 1 viewer and 16 likes because I'm talking about shit nobody cares about. That's all it is. I have like 3 or 4 people commenting, but I have 1 viewer. And of course, my viewers are, the commenters are the same people every day, making the same pedophile jokes, defending pedophilia, defending genocide, all while they connect it to Israel over and over again. They connect it, and see, that's it. They want you to connect it to Israel because Israel doesn't exist. Israel is just a construct. It's an idea. The real enemy, the real problem is the friar cult. Because Israel isn't in Lakewood, New Jersey. The cult is in Lakewood, New Jersey. But Israel isn't. Now we have 0.
Here's a simple question. Why aren't they popping
in Israel whatsoever. You are correct. Because Israel doesn't exist. There's a genocide happening in Palestine, and that's for damn sure. That's unquestionable. That's everywhere. The only people that say that, surprisingly, are piece of shit friars.
This is not in Israel. It's by Israel.
Israel doesn't exist. Israel is Palestine. They just renamed it. But it's Palestine. But this is the shit. And again, this guy is not, he's not like, man, Naomi Elkins deserves the chair. Naomi Elkins is out. She's free. She's probably in Israel by now, so nobody can find her. But Naomi Elkins is free. I guarantee she's not in the psychiatric hospital that she's supposed to be in.
Using the same old rhetoric that they always seem to use when they want the people headed in the direction that they choose.
And this whole story is an example of Semitism and cover up all the way through. Like, this goes up to the judge. This goes up to the judicial system. You know, this whole network. This one story exposes the conspiracy more than anything else. Again, look at the comment section. Look at how they're crying and trying to find every reason to, like, ignore or whatever. But not one of them is like, yeah, that is a really awful thing and something needs to be done about it. At the end of the day, my stated purpose is that we need to protect the Jewish children. First and foremost, we need to protect the Jewish children. So why are all these friars so opposed to what I'm saying? The reality is, the only people that act in a way that they act are the guilty. These guys know that once this shit gets exposed, they're going down. The good thing is they're too stupid to realize they're giving a map, you know. They're giving a map to who they are, and all people are going to have to do is go look for these pieces of shit. We'll find you, and you'll pay your price, and there'll be no way for you to talk your way out of it. You'll never be able to say, oh, I was just a victim. Oh, I didn't think that way. You had every opportunity in the world to denounce it. You never did. You supported it every time. Have done nothing but show that I'm right about everything. So 2 and 16, 3 and 16. I guess I'll do a reset. We'll see what happens. I'll do a quick reset, but make sure you check out the links in the description, and you pedophiles, you kill yourself.